book when I was in school. It was about Baron Rothschild. This Baron Rothschild, in the 1880s, he was a very famous banker. We all know about him, investment banker, very rich man, giving loan to so many people. But because he was a rich man, he had a big, nice palatial house. And the whole house was full of his photos on the horseback, in the army dress, hunting some animal, all over, But one fine day when he was seeing all these beautiful pictures of himself on the walls of his palace, he realized, I have picture in almost every dress, cooking, hunting, swimming, but I don't have a picture of myself like a beggar. How will I look if I am dressed as a beggar? Rich man fantasies. So then he went and approached a painter in France, apparently who was very famous, and he said, I want you to paint me as a beggar. Now, this painter, who was very famous at that point of time, he said, I just do real life painting, so I can't just imagine you and paint you like a beggar. You really need to dress like a beggar. You really need to look like a beggar. You really need to feel like a beggar. Then I can, bring out a best picture. So Baron Rothschild says, what am I supposed to do? So he says, you fast for 6-7 days. You should have that hungry look on your face, haven't eaten for days, and then I can paint a beautiful picture. He said, all right. So he takes a trouble of fasting for 6-7 days, and he's starving, and then now he dresses in old rags. And then they are in France on a beautiful street, and this Baron Rothschild, he is across the street, and he has his beggar's bowl and a very pathetic looking face, and he's standing there, and our painter is on the other side of the street, and he's painting him. It's a perfect picture. Now he was so genuinely looking like a beggar that some man who was crossing the street sees him and feels pity towards him and puts a franc, in his beggar's bowl and leaves. Now, Baron Rothschild is a rich man. He's been giving loans to big countries and, so imagine somebody comes and puts 1 franc in his bowl. So he doesn't move because he's getting, they're painting him. So what he does is ask his assistant, go and check who is this man, who put a franc in my begging bowl. So his assistant goes behind this man and checks where he lives. Now, this guy is an investment banker. So what he does is, he says to his assistant, this is not some alms that he has given me. This is an investment that he has made. So what I'll do is, I will give him with interest back. So after 1 month, Baron Rothschild sends around 10,000 francs to this man. So now his assistant goes with the money and he tells, look here, this is the 10,000 francs for you. And this man asked, but why? So he said, do you remember a month ago you had given a franc to a beggar? He says, I don't remember. I give money to almost so many beggars every time I pass by. That's my nature. I don't remember. So then this assistant of Baron Rothschild tells this man, he said, yeah, you must have given to many beggars, but this particular beggar whom you had given 1 franc last month was a very special beggar, because he was not a beggar, he was a baron, he was a rich man. So though you gave a franc to him thinking that he is a beggar, but he knows that he is not a beggar, he knows that he is a rich man, so you gave him according to his capacity, and now he is going to give you back according to his capacity and his status. And I thought that was such a beautiful story. If you see in our lives also, when we pay obeisances to our spiritual master or to devotees or any Vaishnav, fine, we pay obeisances according to our capacity. But when the devotee blesses us back or the guru blesses us back, they bless according to their capacity. And their capacity is more than our capacity. Our capacity is very little. But when they bless us back, because maybe we don't know how great they are, but they know how great they are. So they will bless according to their capacity. So I thought that was so beautiful. When we pay obeisances to the devotees, when we offer them service. So the whole takeaway point of this sloka is, somehow or the other way, we should develop attachment to the devotees of Krishna. And not only developing attachment, serve them in some or the other way. Like it says in Bhagavad Gita 4.34, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshyanti te gnanam gnanina tattvadarshana. Only a self-realized soul, a devotee, can lead us to the right path. And so what we need to do, we just offer them service, we be attached to them, some or the other way, and then they will show us the right way.
Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna, Krishna.